Warning: you must remember that there are known diseases that affect the digestive system, such as colon cancer, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, and GERD, aka acid reflux.
Hi, I'm the Digestive System, and this is my life and how I roll. I hope y'all can digest all this information.
The digestive system consists of a group of organs that work together to digest the food we eat and convert it to nutrients and energy that we use to function. There are variations in governmental regulations both within this country and internationally. The FDA, for example, regulates the safety of substances added to food, but there are some weird rules in place, like local pizza pranks in New Orleans are illegal. Also, the FDA permits up to an average of 400 insect fragments per 50 grams of cinnamon.
There are 3 different types of digestive systems: monogastric, modified monogastric, and ruminant. Humans, swine, rabbits, chickens, and horses all have a simple stomach, along with many other carnivores and omnivores. And that is known as a monogastric digestive system.
Both horses and rabbits have the same stomach, but fermentation occurs in the sacrum, and this is an example of a modified monogastric system. Here's a little fun fact. Horses cannot vomit because their long esophagus does not allow them to vomit. Their stomach will actually rupture before they vomit.
The last type of digestive system is the ruminant, where the stomach has 4 main compartments: the rumen, the reticulum, the omasum, and the abomasum. The rumen, which is the largest, can hold up to 25 gallons and is also used for storage, a holding vat, and fermentation vat. The reticulum, which is actually not separate from the rumen, is where heavy or dense objects go. The omasum absorbs water and other substances from digestive contents, and the abomasum has a glandular lining and is where HCl and digestive enzymes are secreted.
Mouth to digest.
That is not necessary, Katrina.
Alrighty then. Can you guess where digestion actually begins? You're right, it's the mouth! The smell of food itself triggers the secretion of saliva by the salivary glands in the mouth. Did you know that you produce 1.7 liters of saliva each day? That's ridiculous. Saliva contains a salivary amylase enzyme which helps in the breakdown of starch. In the mouth lies the tongue, which is vital for mixing and tasting food. Teeth help in the grinding of food so it's small to pass through the esophagus. Let's get down to business to digest the food. Cue esophagus!
After you've swallowed your food, it passes through the throat and into the esophagus. Here, food is passed through the hypopharynx and the oropharynx. Through a process called peristalsis, food is converted into a small round mass called the bolus and is transported into the stomach. At the end of the esophagus, there's a muscular ring called the cardiac sphincter. It is responsible for closing the end of the esophagus in order to trap food into the stomach. Food does not even need gravity to get to your stomach since muscles contract and relax in the esophagus to push food down to the stomach.
Baby, are you down, 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 oh.
In the stomach, food is coated with a mixture of digestive enzymes and acid called gastric juice. This helps break down food. The stomach walls are protected from the acid by a thick coat of mucus.
It's toxic foods breaking down and let's continue on this digestive track. The next step's important, so I hope you're still watching.
After the food has been broken down in the stomach, it is then passed on to the small intestine. The small intestine is divided into three parts: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. Did you know that the approximate surface area of the small intestine is about 2,700 feet? That's over half the size of a basketball court. The walls of the small intestine have finger-like projections called villi, and these villi are covered in even smaller microvilli. They facilitate the absorption of nutrients into the bloodstream. Once the nutrients are extracted, the circulatory system moves it into the bloodstream to deposit it to other body organs.
Nutritionists have a wide knowledge of the role of nutrients in health and disease. We know that people need many different types of nutrients if they are to maintain health and reduce the risk of diet-related diseases. The amount of each nutrient required is called the nutritional requirement. Common foods both meet and don't meet the nutritional requirements because humans may not consume the right amounts or eat them with unhealthy sides. For example, salad is healthy since it contains vegetables, but it can be unhealthy when drenched in salad dressing. Fruits are healthy if eaten alone, but they are unhealthy if covered in chocolate or sugar. Finally, meat and fish become unhealthy if it's breaded or deep fried.
Eat all your nutrients to be healthy. There's nutritional requirements. Get your nutrients. Gotta stay away from harmful diseases. The liver has multiple functions, but its main function is to process the nutrients absorbed from the small intestine. Bile from the liver, secreted into the small intestine, plays an important role in digesting fat. In addition, the liver is the body's chemical factory. It takes the raw materials absorbed by the intestine and makes all the various chemicals the body needs to function. The liver also detoxifies potentially harmful chemicals. It breaks down and secretes the drugs. No, don't want harsh chemicals. The liver detoxifies the body for me. Cue pancreas!
The pancreas is a gland organ that is located in the abdomen. It is part of the digestive system and produces important enzymes and hormones that help break down protein, fats, and carbohydrates. To give you an idea of how potent the enzymes are, some of the enzymes produced by the pancreas, such as protease, amylase, and lipase, are also used in laundry detergents. The pancreas also makes insulin, secreting it directly into the bloodstream. Insulin is the chief hormone for metabolizing sugar.
Digestion, we all do it. Every time we eat something after chewing, then it starts and goes through the body. Now sadly our video's almost ending. All we need left is the large intestine.
After the small intestine, we have the large intestine, which is charged with absorbing water and breaking down waste. It contains bacteria that helps with the breakdown of waste that is passed on from the small intestine. Once the remaining nutrients are extracted, it becomes feces that is excreted through the anus. Through the excretory system, the bodily waste is let go, which concludes the digestive process.
Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it in anymore. Let it go, let it go. It's not healthy to hold it in.
Go home, Katrina!